Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. For this video, I'm just going to do a little bit of a stash ads update. I mean, my personal stash ads, it's very few, and to be quite honest with you, I wasn't expecting to do a stash ads video so soon, just because I haven't really bought myself a great deal, to be quite fair, since the last video. But this is my first video it's coming up to a week now. Unfortunately, just before I filmed that last video, the Jeep unboxing, I, I I was working on my car, putting a big heavy battery in the boot, and seemed to have put me back out. And I managed to get one more video out, but I was really feeling the pain in that video. So yeah, you might have picked up on it in that video, but yeah, and for the last week it just got worse and worse and worse. Unfortunately, I've been, you know, really slow moving this week. I've had no progress on the Project 65 Galaxy for the Blue Ox Model Shop Street Machine group build. It's just been too painful to sort of sit at the type of chair I've got at the moment. And when you're self reliant on income, 100%, you know the little movement I've had, I've just been concentrating on just getting the work through, and getting some bills paid and what have you. So yeah, unfortunately, I've had no bill time, and I think this might be the first time I don't complete a model within a month. But because I think that we started that a couple of weeks ago, and there's still quite a bit of work to do on that 65 Galaxy. So I was very conscious that I'd not put a video out. But I am starting to feel better now. I can actually sit in the car without, thinking I need to be tied to an ironing board to sit me in the seat. So yeah, I've had a really busy day today, to be honest. I've caught up with all my orders. I've posted out. I've got some stuff out early, actually. But yeah, I've been to the post office. I've also been to my parents' house. I've bought quite a bit of stuff at auction. Not for personal or anything, but there was a couple of bits in there which I'm just keeping aside. But yeah, we'll get into all that. But yeah, so we were just going to cover a few little bits and pieces. But yeah, I think firstly, I just want to go into kind of donations to some respect. Somebody messaged me and asked me if I could find some parts for him. I won't name him because I don't know if he wants his name saying on here, but he was asking me for some monogram 57 Chevy parts, if I could have a look for them, and some other bits and pieces, I think, for an Eclavette and what have you. And I managed to find everything, and rather than split up a 57 Chevy, I just sent a builder across, and a few other bits and pieces. It's a bit of a favour kind of thing, but then the nice chap, he sent me this back in return. I wasn't expecting it at all, and just said, "Do you fancy a Riviera?" And I love the old Rivieras, so I wasn't gonna say no to it. But again, I wasn't expecting anything in return. I was just, somebody asked me to do something for him, and it does take me a while to get round to these things and what have you. But I'm always willing to help where I can. And I've just found some other Corvette engine parts. That last day, so I'm looking for some other parts for somebody else, and somebody else has asked me for some engine parts, and it just does take me a bit of time to specifically go into that and try and work it in with everything else. But I've been looking for a Tiara bar for as a sort of Lando bar for somebody else as well. So, but yeah, got this back, and it didn't quite make my last video for stash ads just because it was still up on the shelf and I hadn't really managed to get round and photograph it or anything. But yeah, that's it. Really nice. Really happy with that, and I'm really grateful for anything that anybody sends me through. And Yeah, I will do something with this one day. It's a really nice build, to be quite fair. It's showing its age, but usually I wouldn't even touch anything like this, but it's just got a bit of a scar mark across the paintwork, across the rear trim. So I think that alone just gives me the excuse to do something else with that. So yeah, so we'll definitely do something with that. Yeah, really happy with that, and thank you ever so much for who sent that. But the main thing was, I've got my first shop card. Shawn from the Scale Model Car Guy channel. Everybody knows Shawn. He's really supportive of everybody's channels, and he's been a big support of my channel since the first video I put out in back end of December. And Shawn had won me a little competition, the 500 subscriber competition, and yeah, I think I just was giving away a couple of magazines, but in the back of my mind, whoever won it, like I say, I kind of know my viewers now, so whoever won that would have got a little bit of extra. And if you saw Shawn's video, I did send him like a one of the original Monogram 55 Chevys. A really clean builder, and I knew Shawn would just display it as it is, do a little bit of detail and what have you, and I knew he'd enjoy that one. And I also sent him a little small scale Airfix Rover, and because we all know Shawn loves his Airfix stuff and small scale stuff, and then I think I put them in the post, and I think there was a few days later, the following week, I put up that Imperial unboxing, and Shawn kindly messaged me with a few pictures of an Imperial he had, because I think the original, what I was talking about in there is, I'd like to find a couple of builders, and we're going to do make the pickup version, and we were also going to build the Hero one, the Hero kit, and try and get a stock version out of that 65. And yeah, Shawn sent me a few pictures of this and said, do I want it? And of course I said yes. It's I just love these old AMT kits, and I didn't really notice when Shawn sent the pictures, but this is actually a 64. I think the pickup ones were the 65 and the 66, and so to put that custom front end on this one, I think I'd be cutting this 64 grill part out, and I would have done it, to be quite fair. But I've just messaged Shawn this morning. Just first time I've got across to me parents' house really to start picking up some stuff, and this was there. I think probably got delivered yesterday or the day before, but I just managed to scoot across to pick up some of this auction stuff, and this was in there as well. But yeah, I've got it out, and the more I started looking at it, I was thinking this would, first of all, I thought this would look really good in like presidential, like the 63 presidential colours. Do it in that dark metallic blue, and put the AMT pad printed big white band tyres on there, and I think that that would just make that grille look really nice with that. And then I was because I said to Shawn, 100% I'm building this on the channel, and this one will get built as soon as I can find a few other little bits and pieces for it. This will be getting done 100%. And then I was looking around it, and then I noticed these spotlights, and I think from 64 to 66 they always came with like bumper mounted spotlights, just like the presidential car. And I was thinking, one like I say, I was getting my ideas around this, really excited to get this one, and I thought this was a bit like the Pan Am, Dodge we did, which was a complete idea out of imagination. It wasn't a replica or anything, but I thought this would make a really nice what if presidential car. Maybe not presidential, maybe a vice president, because I don't want to go into cutting this and putting a bit of extra length in it. And I think the 64 presidential car was actually a black stretched 64 Imperial. Obviously, they put the roof on it by then, learning from past mistakes and what have you. But I thought we could do certain things to this to make it look like like a government vehicle. We'd take this roof off. Obviously, this I don't think, to be quite honest, I don't really know what that would look good on. But I was looking at it and I was thinking, well, if we don't use the roof bit, we can cut that section out there, and that'd make like a nice custom rear valance for something from the 50s. I think that nothing gets wasted. But yeah, frames all in one piece, glasses there. It's missing the hood, but I'm sure we'll be able to source something for that. But yeah, that's my idea with that, and we'll add little bits and pieces. I mean, I love municipal vehicles and anything a little bit out the ordinary. So I think that's the direction I'm going to go with that. It's going to be a complete imagination build, is that. But we're going to make it look really nice, and I think that's going to do the kit more justice than putting the pickup roof on this particular one. So Shawn, thank you ever so much for that. Really chuffed with that. But Shawn didn't stop there, of course, and he also included this. I think it's a 67, this one. 67 Lincoln. And it's got all the custom parts glued on and what have you. It's got the custom rear valance on. We've got the missing grille here and the other sort of corner bumper. So the kit's complete for a custom, and usually I'd probably want to build a stock first, but I do have a stock 66 promo, and I've always liked the box art of the 67 AMT 67 annual. I think it was like maroon on the box and what have you. So I think I'll build it like the box art for the custom version for the 67. We'll use the front and rear valances. Excuse me. Yeah, we'll use front and rear valances, but I'm not too sure about the roof section and the boot section, because the box art car on that was just all maroon. And I think that makes it just look a little bit too much, does this, a little bit sort of Huggy Bear type, yeah, custom. But I'm not too sure yet. We'll see. In all fairness, thinking about it, that rear roof section may make a nice rear roof section for that if we're building this into like a presidential one. So yeah, that's like I say, we were just thinking of ideas as we're going along here. But yeah, this will definitely be built as a custom, and I know the styling, a lot of people won't like it, but we'll make this into a, even though the styling isn't great on some of these customs, you do them right and you will make a really pretty kit, and that's what we're going to be doing. This one's going to get a channel build as well. But again, Shawn, thank you ever so much. You did include some kind words on the back on there, and I'm really grateful. I wasn't expecting any of this, to be quite honest with you, and I didn't know what Shawn's obviously was going to send me when I sent his package, and and I think and Shawn didn't know. Well, I didn't know what he was going to send. He didn't know what I was going to send, and I think we've both been really nicely surprised with that. And we've both got something really up down our sort of our interests, our main interests there. I think Shawn with his monogram and his small scale, and I've got two really nice kits which we are going to build on this channel. And now this is going to turn into a long one. I'm really sorry, guys, but we're going to see plenty of stuff in here, and you know, I think we're going to start wrapping it up. Again, I haven't really got much else purchases-wise for me at all. You know, but we have got other stuff to show. You know, this is one I saw on eBay. Absolutely no interest in it whatsoever. It seemed seller started at a tenner. I put a bid on it early days, I think, or I watched it and then just put a bid on in the last hour or so, and nobody outbid me. You know, it started at a tenner, ended at a tenner, and you know, absolutely perfect for me is that. You know, it's a good excuse to build a custom. It's got all the nice custom bits. I don't know what year it is. I think it'll probably be like a 61 or something. It'll either sort of between 61 and 63. I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head the trim differences between the 61 and the 63. I think there was differences in the bumpers and what have you. But yeah, that's another nice one. Almost looks like the other 63 box art car, does that? The hard top one, the gold one, but not very similar anyway. But yeah, really pleased with that. Really nice, clean builder. All the custom parts on it, ticks all the boxes, and was cheap. So really chuffed with that one. The other one I got, more locally, to be quite fair, was this 60 Edsel. I do have another one, and it looks pretty much identical. It's got a really 59 Edsel, sorry. It's got a really weird marble sort of plastic. This is base plastic, and yeah, it's got a really funny finish to that. But it's bare plastic, but somebody's foiled it. Really, really beautiful car is that. Pretty rare kit as well, to be quite honest with you. Only problem with this is it's missing one of the bumper corners. I'm thinking at the minute, well, I probably picked up the wrong one. They're so alike, because I remember the other one I've got has got a missing bumper corner. But yeah, so that was me. Got me thinking there. But yeah, that's me other old kit I bought, and I think there's only a couple more really from sort of eBay, Marketplace, other people messaging me and seeing if I want to buy any stuff. But yeah, this was on eBay as well, and it's not a complete kit or anything. But what it is a really nice, I think it's 65, this one, 65 Mustang hardtop convertible. And somebody built it as a stock convertible without the roof or anything like that, and absolutely everything else is included. So all the custom parts, you know, the vinyl roof. I'm not even sorted through the box yet on this one. I just thought it was a lovely little box, and you know, you can use all these bits on later issue Mustang kits and what have you. But yeah, really, really nice box art. But I did notice in the listing that not only did it have all the Mustang parts and what have you, which are in there, most of it's still on sprue, to be quite honest, but it also had all the spare parts from like a 66 Riviera as well. So we've got, like I say, I've not sorted through this at all, and yeah, and this is the most I've actually looked at the kit since I bought it. But yeah, so it was a 66 Riviera. So there's all the spare parts to the Riviera and all the spare parts to the Mustang. And when we're talking spare parts in a 60s annual kit, that's a lot of spare parts. Again, 10 quid plus post. I think it's $3.35 postage. Nobody else bid on it, so I thought I'm more than happy with that, and exactly the kind of lot I'm looking for. Yeah, I don't really want to spend much, like, and but yeah, it's what else? My last real purchase for myself was in that Jeep unboxing we did. I did have a I did mention that years ago, when I was like 5 years old, my dad had a box of old AMC and MPC 4x4 kits and stuff like this, and I remember this being one of them. I think my dad had painted it red, and the interior was like a tan colour. So I'd really like to build that. I mean, I've been wanting to build one of these for a long time, and it's not really usually the type of kit I build, but I really want to see what one of these looks like built up, and get sort of bring some of that childhood memories back of when I was like pre-5, like 4 or 5, before that box of old kits disappeared and probably got put into the skip, like, because they'd been broken so much. But yeah, I thought I saw this come up in the week, and this is quite a recent purchase, and wasn't going for. I mean, they just reissued this, and to be quite honest, I hate these Matchbox boxes. They just don't fit on anything. They're like a different size to pretty much everything else, so they're always an awkward box to put on the shelf. But I don't want bothered about box condition, kit condition. It's all there, and there's enough to build the kits. So, once I've built this, then I can just off the box on that, because they're such an annoying box to me. And them things are a bit like the new Revel kits. I don't like them size boxes, but they do them bigger so they're not damaging your kit, like, which makes a hell of a lot of sense. But what else did oh yeah, before I go into the next thing, I just thought I would show this for Mars at Mars Garage. I know he's got his the Rust Bucket Challenge 2023 group build, and I said I've got something which I thought he'd like to see, and this was in a collection I bought. Some really nice kits. Again, I've said I bought a few bits and pieces lately, and I bought these a few months ago, and like I say, I probably kept 20 or 30 aside for myself, and the others are just trickling out nicely, like, throughout the month. With a lot have gone to America. In fact, I've put 18 parcels into the post office this morning, all for America. So but the guy who built these, really nice, and he does some really nice work, like, and I thought that was just, it was so unique. I couldn't bring myself to putting this one on eBay, to be quite honest. But if you're joining that group build and you want a bit of inspiration, I don't think you could get more cool than that, to be quite fair. I mean, the work on that, I was rusted out all that hood and done a really, really nice job of doing jagged edges, but it's so neat. It looks, it's absolutely phenomenal, is that. So yeah, I mean, wouldn't mind getting this over to Mars, to be quite honest with you. I'll never sell it, to be quite fair, and I think somebody like Mars would appreciate that. So in time I'll work something out, and we can get that across to you, buddy, because I think that's something like that belongs with somebody like you. And that's a lovely little thing. And like I say, I just thought I'd show it to everybody for a bit of inspiration. And this is why I feel so sort of out of my depth with this kind of thing, because to do all this work and make it look good, I think you need to be really skilled. Like, I think this one, again, it's just got one loose fender. I'm not going to glue it on. I'll let whoever deals with that properly and wants to display it, just glue that on. But that was a really nice thing, and I've had it on the side for a while now, and I thought I'd show that one as well. Like, beautiful little built kit is that. But the last thing, even though we're at 25 minutes, how much time do I reckon this is going to take? So I did spend about £800. I think it was £800 including the packing and posting charges at auction recently. From like a toy sale a couple of weeks ago, and that's why the bad back things really got me down, to be quite honest, because I've had to shell out all that money, and then I can't either. It's been a real struggle trying to work around to get some of that money back, and in the meantime, well, I've got that deficit. So, but like I say, everything's getting better now. It all arrived this morning, I think, and the couple of bits I've kept for myself. There's, like I say, 150, £800, sorry, I've spent, and I bought a lot of stuff I don't usually buy, to be honest. But there was that auction though. It was mainly die cast, and I think. I mean, I didn't know the die cast thing was as strong as them prices were, but yeah, there was a couple of model kit stuff in there, and I did buy a couple of lots, but it was all for resale, to be quite honest with you. But the pictures were so bad on these lots. It was a complete look at a draw what you're getting, to be quite fair. One of the lots was this, and it was like this sat on top, and you could see like two kind of naff sort of Eddie Stobart 176 lorry boxes next to it, and you couldn't see anything what was underneath it. It just said box of model kits and die cast cars assorted. But this was right on the top, and I was really surprised to win this lot, to be quite fair. I think I put £55 as me sort of top line on that, because you have to work in, you're paying a percentage on top to the auction house, and it can all get very expensive very quickly. And I think if I won everything I was going to bid on, I had a big list of all the lots I was going to bid on, and it would have been £3,000, and most of them far exceeded my sort of maximum bid, and quite happy to, because I'd rather pay £800 and have that all in my pocket rather than £3,000. But yeah, there was some definite money turned around there, and that didn't even include the old 5 Series I bid on either. There was a BMW 5 Series, a real car in the auction. I thought I'd have a dabble on that, but I put kind of a really low bid on it, just a bid which I can afford, which I could have afforded to buy the car and do it up and sell it like. But yeah, it exceeded my bid by about £600, I think. So yeah, but my plan was to fill the car with all this stuff and just get the car shipped back here, like. But in a way, lucky it didn't go through because I didn't spend as much. But yeah, this was just sat on top of the box, and it's a complete, I didn't know if it was built, unbuilt, not built, and or just, a box of instructions with no kit in it. So yeah, I think I put £50 on the box of stuff, not knowing what else was in there and not knowing the condition of this one. And when it came, it had this tape on here, and as you can see, it was all taped up, and as you can see, the tape's been on here a long time, and that was like, it was the first thing I pulled out, the 3 massive boxes I got. And I was like, oh, this isn't a good sign at all. This is not a good sign, because you see an old box tapes up like that, and the tape's been on there for a good long time. And so I cut the tape, and to my surprise, this kit is absolutely split mint. Absolutely, like, been really well cared for. It looks like somebody had opened the box, put bubble wrap around it, and then just closed the box and put a bit of tape over it. But yeah, so like I said, we're doing unboxing. We're already at 30 minutes already, and I really want to try and get through. But yeah, so for the starting bid, or for the end, the hammer price was £50 plus your 20% on top of that, so £60 for the box of stuff. And I was thinking, well, That's not a bad price for that alone. So and I wasn't round for the auction. I just had to just leave automatic bids on there, and yeah, I was working that day. So there's no way I can sit through. I think they were doing 400 lots a day or something. It was ridiculous. So yeah, I was really pleased to see hammer price on that. I was even more pleased to see when that box came through that what was underneath it was about 10 of these. Not all, yeah, not this one in particular. This was one of them. They're all mixed, and yeah, loads of really nice 124 scale 124 scale die casts, which I didn't know I was buying. You know, I did buy a couple of little junk boxes of die cast and what have you, but yeah, there's a selection of them. So I'll have to go through all them. They're not stuff I'm gonna keep. I just thought I'd show you what was underneath it, and you know the other. Yeah, I think there was and the other kit I sort of on the fence about keeping was this one. There was I probably bought about 20 AMT kits or something. All the other kits, they're sort of different brands and what have you, not the kind of thing I'd usually buy. So, but this is one I'm sort of toying with keeping as well. Strangely enough, another monogram kit. You know, not even a massive fan or collector of monogram stuff. But this one I had as a kid. Maybe not as a kid. Saying like 13 or 14, they were selling these at. It was like a newsagent's toy store, the other side of town, and I remember riding across on my bike and I bought one of these, and it seemed really expensive at the time. I think it was something like 11 quid or something, and I thought, you know, that's the right rip-off. But you know, it was there 3 years later, and prices is sort of in line with everything else by then, so I just bought it. So, but this again, pretty much mint in box, you know, not sorted through any of it. Really popular kit is this one, to be quite fair, and yeah, box is a bit toasty. Box hasn't survived very well. It's not one of the best box ones I've had, but yeah, I keep buying these, keep selling them, and then I keep wanting to build one like I did when I was a kid. Like I remember I built it and I didn't paint it or anything like that. I just did a really clean build, and I think I ended up even selling that one because I certainly don't have it anymore, or it got broken or something. So, but yeah, they're the two really what I think I'm going to keep from that auction. I'm not going to show everything else. I mean, I will show you a few other examples just to the. Oh, I'll tell you what now, this was the one that intrigued me. So this, I had not, so I've bought and sold a lot of kits over the years, and you know, if I was thinking about this the other day, I'm probably one of the people who have bought the most obscure discontinued kits to the UK market, certainly over the last few years. As a specific, you know, I don't deal in new kits or anything like that. You know, in all fairness, for a long time, it's just all it is funding a hobby, your own hobby, and now it's having to unfortunately fund rent and yeah, paying back credit card bills, which I'm very good at. Luckily, you know, I don't have any big debt or anything like that. You know, I buy what I need to buy using credit cards, and then I'll pay it back off straight away once I made the money back. So that's how it works, and then the rest gets paid on rent and stuff. But yeah, I hadn't seen one of these ever. You know, this 3-car combo monogram. Yeah, I'll put it that way just so you can sort of see it a little bit more. But and then a couple of days after I'd won this auction, somebody posted the same box on eBay, and on Facebook, on one of the groups and what have you. But I just thought that was kind of I'm not too sure whether I'm keeping. I mean, all of these ones are great kits. Really rare to see a box art where this one's in black. Also with white for the 58 Thunderbird, but Yeah, I just I thought I've never seen this one before. Like I say, I've never seen it, and then I see somebody else post a similar one. But again, this is all brand new in box and what have you, and fantastic kits, all three of them, including the '87 Thunderbird. If you want nice, easy builds and kits which come out really nice without a great deal of effort, all these three of these fit the bills. Yeah, that was an interesting one, and I do like all three of the kits, but I'm not too sure on that one yet. That's a potential keep for the auction, for the collection, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, there's a few other bits. So yeah, I mean, as an example of the other stuff, and I'm not going to go into great detail, but it was stuff like the Tamiya Jaguars. That's a really great kit, and unfortunately, it's just a really easy seller for me. So I've got a few builders of these, which because I do want to build one, but I think my idea would be doing more of a sort of late 70s custom with the English custom with mag wheels and what have you. So I've got other ones for that, but the other thing was there's the Porsche Porsche, as you're supposed to say, group build going on, and I was thinking I don't even have a Porsche in the collection at all, and really, yeah, I think the only way I build a Porsche is something a little bit unique. I'd probably want to make a station wagon or something stupid out of it like that. So yeah, I've not really seen anything inspiring enough. But funnily enough, this was in that in the rest of the stuff which I bought, and this is a clear body one. Yeah, I don't really know anything about these kits, and yeah, this isn't really in my wheelhouse at all, to be fair. But yeah, I think this is a clear body one. It's a quite nice kit and everything. I'm sure it builds into a beautiful kit and what have you. But yeah, it's just funny that all of a sudden I don't have any Porsches, and then this is the other Porsche which was in there. I'm only just showing these because I thought they're quite nice box arts and what have you, and they're quite interesting kits. And I think this is one of the few kits which have been started on. I think there was about 2 or 3 kits out of God knows how many, plus a ton of die-cast stuff, which... Yeah, but I think this has just been started on a little bit, and looks pretty much all there and what have you, and I ain't going to go into... I've not even, like I say, I've literally taken these out of the boxes this morning just to see what I'd got, because 80% of the stuff I have no idea what I was buying, because I'm just looking at a box of stuff and I'm putting a price on what I can see, and that's it. And so any of this stuff which came underneath it, or I couldn't really see in pictures, I wasn't even accounting for in my bids. So yeah, that was that looks like a really nice kit, to be quite fair, and still don't think it's quite inspired me to join that group build just yet. I'll see what comes my way in next month or so, and see if there's anything which I really want to get into that group build. But yeah, like I say, you should say it Porsche, because that's the correct way to say it. We just say Porsche over here, but that's because we don't have any. That's because we have a lot of silent letters in our language. That's all it is. That's all it is. So if I said Porsche around my mates, I would get my head filled in. I'll tell you that for now. Yeah, if I walked into a pub saying, "Oh, yeah, I just seen a Porsche outside," it'd be a pint thrown over my face. But Porsche is the right way to say it. So just to clarify Luca's rage at people who say Porsche. Yeah, no, it's just the English language for you. So, and the English. But we know how to say Jaguar. So that's the main thing. It's not Jaguar. But yeah, as an example of some of the other Like I was built, like I said in the auction, stuff was going for crazy, crazy, crazy money. I mean, there must have been a lot of collectors there who really didn't sort of had an endless wallet sort of funding thing going on there. But yeah, I was just bidding on a few little scratty boxes, and you couldn't see anything. The only thing I could see in this lot was right underneath a load of other die casts. Was I could see the top of what I thought was a Franklin Mint 57 Chevy and a Franklin Mint 58 Chevy, and then there's no scratches on them or out. They're just a little bit worn and what have you. But I'm not kidding. I won't be keeping these. I just need to sort through them, and I'll just do a massive fire sale. Put them all at 5-star or something, get rid of them. But yeah, it's like the only problem with this one is the hood. It's either been taken. It's got a bit of the hinge is broken. There's something funky gone on with that paintwork on the hood, so to speak. But yeah, I ended up again couldn't see hardly anything in the boxes, and I ended up with about 25 Franklin Mint kits and models, and yeah, all stuff like this really. And yeah, there's loose bits on some of them, but there's, like I say, there's no real scratches or anything. And yeah, the monogram version of this was again one of my favourite kits, to be quite, just because my dad had built one as when we were younger, and it does build into a beautiful kit, that monogram one. But yeah, I just thought I'd send it. Like I say, I've got the one to hand, and I think I was paying like 25 to 40 quid a box, and the amount of stuff I've got for it ain't bad, to be quite fair. So I'll just clean them off, and I know they aren't really our kind of thing, but yeah, a lot of die cast in there. No wonder the boxes weighed a lot, and this is another thing when you buying at auction, is especially with that sale, for some reason. I mean, I don't know why they don't take more detailed pictures, or at least 2 pictures will give you a second chance. But I did think I bought a box of plastic kits, because I thought what I saw was like a Polar Lights X01, and I thought there was a monogram 59 Chevy convertible built up, and to be surprised, those turned out to be 1/18th kits, 1/18th diecast stuff. And I think there's a few bits missing. I don't know what's missing off there, but yeah, the 59 Chevy ended up being 1/18th scale, and luckily I didn't pay a lot for them. But yeah, what a lovely little thing that is, eh? Yeah, and I think there was about 8 of these in that lot, and and I think one of the other ones was a E-Class Merc, and I thought it was the Fujimi E-Class Merc, and that's why I thought they were 1/24 scales. So you got to be really careful at auction, to be quite fair. But last thing, thought with all them, because I've got so many die-cast stuff from that lot, and I did pick out a few little things, I think, for Martin. I know he likes his Jaguars. There's a few bits and pieces in there, and Martin, I've had a few bits and pieces set aside for you for a while, and I've been meaning to send them to you. But if you're interested in these, buddy, just drop us an email. But I'll be more than happy to give you these to you, and along with the other little bits and pieces for a bit of a channel donation. Always, God, the amount of times I've nearly bought one of these, like real cars, when I've been looking around, and I've nearly bought one of these so many times. And I think what keeps putting me off buying them is that they are so prone to rust, these things. I remember when I was working at BMW and next door was Jaguar, and they'd have like 3-year-old cars, and they'd have the smart repair guy outside painting all rust away from quarter panels because they were already starting to rust after a couple of years. Yeah, and everyone I've really, which has been in my price range, has always been a bit of a scratty one, and I hate I hate dents, I hate scratches, and you know, I hate rust more than anything else. You know, I can live with a dent or a small scratch. You know, my car's got a few bits and pieces round it, but I am putting the money into it at the moment. So don't even know if I'm keeping that BMW, but yeah, so always fancied buying a few of these, and always bottled out at the last minute. I've looked at the X, what was the, I don't even know, Jaguars, the XJ8. I've been looking at, the XJ, the XJ6. There were another couple of cars I've been looking. I've always fancied a Jaguar, but yeah. Nearly bought a couple of saloons, but again, they're a little bit more expensive, and if you want a nice one. So yeah, if you want these, Martin, and also there was a few other bits and pieces in there, a few ropey little bits, and yeah, the 1/18 E-Type, and it's missing a few bits, but if you got wheels are broken on one side, but if you got something else which you could repair it, you're more than welcome to it. And what are these? XK220, is it? God, you got to admit that is a stunning. Yeah, this with the F40 when they came out. You know, I don't think you'll ever capture them cars again. To be quite fair, I think this is when supercar was supercar, if you know what I mean, and you know, everything can be supercar in some respects. You know, you get into an electric car, and the acceleration on an electric car is absolutely stupid, to be quite fair. Yeah, to be quite honest with you, you know, it's you know, now supercars are hypercars, aren't they? And they just absolutely do nothing for me, I'm afraid. Don't supercars anymore or anything like that. I think they're too gaudy, and yeah, there's no style to them. And if you own one, good on you, but yeah, you get a classic one driving behind you. A lot more people are probably going to be looking at the classic Ferrari than a brand new spanking Lamborghini or whatever they are. Like I say, no interest in them whatsoever. So yeah, that has been a long video. God, guys, if you have stuck around for that, firstly, I apologise for it's been so long, but we've looked at quite a lot of stuff, and I am bored you to death for a good week, and you know, I think that was due. So there you go. So thank you for watching. If you have, thank you for your patience while I've been a little bit not feeling myself. And like I say, when if somebody suffers with a bad back all the time, I really feel for them, because it just brings you down. Yeah, it brings you down because you can't work as much as you wanted to. It gets you behind, and you just feel like an upturned turtle on the sofa, and you know, you have to do army rolls off the sofa so you're not damaging your back again and what have you. But so yeah, thank you, Shawn. Big thank you for what you sent. Thank you to the chap who sent me the other thing, and you know, I hope you've enjoyed just looking at the bits and pieces we've looked at. There's been like a lot of different stuff. So whatever you're doing for the rest of the weekend, hope you have a great one. You know, thank you. Lastly, thank you to all the supporters of the channel. You know, I generally missed that one out earlier, but yeah, all the supporters of the channel, thank you ever so much. And hopefully now I'm feeling better. You know, I'm looking forward to getting it back at the bench. You know, my head's in the right space for that now, and you know, seeing other people's videos. You know, I'm really wanting to get back to building and getting that Galaxy finished off so we can start on some of these other ones. Yeah, with that said, once again, thank you ever so much, and we will see you in the next video. See you, bye.